Hey YouTube, it's Ken coming at you again. Last night here at Fort Hickory we had our annual end of summer backyard camp out. It was a huge success. I thought before I took down the last tent today I'd start my next video. I had a couple people request a video on my survival machete, so buckle up. This is my survival machete. Now before we start, let me give credit where credit is due. There's almost nothing on this machete that I can really take credit for idea-wise. There were two main sources of inspiration for this kit. The first is, of course, Dave Canterbury from Wilderness Outfitters Archery. Before he was on TV, he made a couple videos about his survival machete, and you'll notice a lot of similarities between his machete and mine. But the major source of inspiration for this is Cole Haynes' channel. The first source of inspiration I got from him was in his neck knife survival kit video. You can look that up. There's a lot of great ideas in that, and you'll also notice a lot of those ideas in this machete. And then also he's got about 1 million videos on machete use on his site, on his channel. The best ones are on his machete modifications. Those videos blew my mind. And then he's got a bunch of videos also on machete use and machete safety tips in the jungles of Brazil down there where he lives. So those are the two main places where I got all of these ideas. I have very little to add to the survival machete discussion. There's one little thing I think that I do that might be useful to some people out there, but anyway, here we go. So gentlemen, here she is, my survival machete. It's an 18-inch Ontario machete with the saw back. It's got a rubberized plastic sheath. It used to have a carbide sharpener in this hole here, but that fell off, but that doesn't bother me much because I never actually used it. We'll just take it from the bottom down. We've got bicycle inner tube cut off into Ranger bands going down that make little pockets that you can put stuff in. The top pocket, this is an idea I got from Cole Haynes. This is a Photon Micro Light 2. It's a very bright LED light, and when you're wearing this the way I wear it, it's convenient to have a flashlight at your side all the time. And I'll show you how that works when I'm wearing it. The pouch below it, I've got 8 potable agua tabs, so I can treat a lot of water there. Now in this pocket here, this section, there's a lot of stuff in there. I'll try to throw a photo in here of that, the contents of that section from the last time I redid this machete. But a quick rundown of it. Inside there I've got some emergency fire starter tinder in a small little plastic bag. Below that is a long section of thread. Below that is a small button compass that's good for direction finding. You can't really navigate with it, but it's better have it than not have it. In the middle is a magnesium fire starter bar, you know, like all you guys probably have one. This is a tube with a small fishing kit in it, as well as several safety pins stuck in there, and this is a sewing bobbin all the way filled with 20-pound test waxed fishing line. So you go below that in the survival machete, and you see another couple Ranger bands, Ranger banding, a 55-gallon drum liner, construction grade drum liner there. It's good for a shelter, an emergency poncho, water collection, all kinds of stuff. Under that is a very large section of paracord. I don't know how much paracord is in there. It's what I had left after doing another project, but a decent bit of paracord there. A Smith's sharpener, Ranger banded to the back as well. It's got fine and coarse. It's great for sharpening the machete. That's why I don't need the magnesium or the carbide sharpener anymore. But it also has a secondary function. I'll show you that when I throw this machete on for you. And then on the back in that same section that we had before, there's a lot of other survival goodies in there. We've got a signaling mirror, a Fresnel lens, a large quantity of aluminum foil folded up, some waterproof paper, and 2 stainless steel surgical razor blades, all inside this section here. And the one last thing I have in that section, you can see it just sticking up, the point of it sticking up over here. We've got a heavy-duty repair needle, again pre-threaded and wrapped with that same 20-pound test fishing line. Now I wear this machete at my side just like this. From this position it's very easy to access. This is also when that flashlight comes in handy. Just with one finger, boom, I can control that flashlight any angle that I want. I've removed the belt clip on the back of the machete and I've attached it using paracord with a prusik knot. So with that prusik knot, I can adjust this to whatever height I want, at either higher or lower on my hip. But this is the cool part about this setup. The particular design of this Smith's sharpener means that the butt end of that sharpener does not lie flush up against the machete. There's a little gap there, just enough of a gap where I can snap the paracord in there. What that means is, in a real world situation, I'm out using my machete. If something happens when I need to become mobile, all I have to do is snap the paracord underneath the sharpener, spin the machete around to my back, and now I've got it tight against my back. So if I need to do any running, if I need to climb anything, if I need to throw something, anything where I would need to be mobile, I've got it tight against my back. It's a very compact package. I don't have the machete flopping around on my side, getting caught on things, slowing me down. And if I need to get undone, just one thumb, and we're back to go. The machete itself, I've made no modifications to, although I would really like to. I wish I could make the modifications that Colhane suggests, especially about putting the Scandinavian grind on the blade, a couple inches here at the base. I'd also love to square this off at the top, so it would be better to strike with my ferro rod. It does have a saw back. I've used the saw back a couple times. It's probably better for notching than it is for really taking any limbs off, but it's there and it does me a decent job. So when I was setting up a bunch of stuff for the backyard campout, I realized that this branch right above my head is dead. So we're going to go ahead and remove that branch using the survival machete. So here we go. Sorry about the stuff hitting the camera, guys. Now, when you're using a machete to do a job like this, you don't want to think about powering through your job, trying to muscle through the limb. That's going to waste a lot of calories and a lot of water through sweat. You want to think about chopping smart. You want to go for accuracy with your strokes. Take a couple chops at one angle, flip the blade, chop a couple times at the other angle, remove sections of wood, and bring the limb down efficiently. So, very little energy to get that limb off of that tree. And I end up using the saw back just to cut through the bark on the far side. Done. So guys, there it is. That's my survival machete. Now, like I mentioned in my bug out video before, this lives in the same closet with my bug out kit, but it's not really part of my bug out system. This is, you know, I don't live in the wilds of Brazil or even in Ohio. I live in Anaheim, California. There's not really a situation where I'd ever need to use a piece of gear like this. It's pretty much a toy that I put together because I thought it would be fun. And I was right. This is one of the most fun pieces of gear that I own. I use this all the time, especially in the backyard, doing any yard work that I have to do. I reach for this before I grab any gardening tools. This is true. If I've got to limb something out of a tree or if I've got to trim hedges, anything, I grab this first. It's just so much fun to practice with this. Processing wood for Christmas trees. Gentlemen, bit of advice. If you're on a date with a girl, make her a fire using a machete and baton the wood down and start the fire with a ferro rod. Money in the bank, I promise you. Anyway, like I said, this is just a tool that I have for fun and I use it all the time. I hope you guys are having a great time out there in YouTube land. I'll see you later.